Not only do you get the correct direction, but when you're peeking over the table, you notice a man with a semi-concealed rifle standing like he's propped up against a doorway, and he has a military uniform. The name tag says Blasco. More
Uh,
How far away
importantly,
is?
he appears to be a mercenary, and his unit patch looks a lot like the Archon group's insignia, but instead it's called the Archon's grip.
How far away
interesting.
is she?
How far away is he? He's about 20 meters away.
Teleport on his ass and deal with it.
Well, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw the spike thrower and just point it at him.
Okay. All right.
Or
You're
that
pointing a
works
spike thrower
too.
at him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's too far away for me to teleport.
Is there a way that I can come to him somehow?
Yeah. Yeah,
Right.
sure. You could just
I
do like a line of sight comm. You'd have
yeah.
to like remain in the open for a short time.
What's the
Oh,
D8
yeah.
for? That's
Initiative.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll guess I'll get into that as well. Ah, fucking shit. Sorry. There we go. Cool.
Can't believe you weren't ready for this combat, Dave. Didn't have all of your macros loaded.
I never make macros, man.
I
Never
know.
make macros. Yeah. So I guess but if you let me, I'll come to him
Yeah.
and I'll be like, I think there's been a mistake.
All right. You hear a voice coming back, and he's like, "Yes, there has been a mistake." And then we see him like pulling the bolt action on the sniper rifle back and preparing
I,
to fire.
I,
Lafad, you're
some,
up. You have a spike thrower. You're aiming it in his direction.
I tell the Mako, I don't think we are supposed to receive this package.
Oh yeah, well, I gave it away.
And let's see, what armor is he wearing?
That's a good question.
You said he was in military, right? So it'd probably either be like
Well, I
what
mean,
we're
he's
wearing.
wearing military fatigues.
Okay,
That
so
doesn't mean that he's necessarily. He's got the what you call it, the undersuit body armor on, which I think is just like,
woven. That's 5 armor plus his dex. So I'm guessing that's probably he's got 4 armor then.
yep. He has AC4.
Wait, you said armored undersuit?
Yep.
Yeah, so 5 plus his
That has an
dex is
AC
4.
of 7.
Okay. Well, then he has 6.
Oh wow, okay. I thought the wow,
Boom.
just barely.
Okay. You hit him.
3d8 plus 2.
Oh, Jesus.
You fucking just
Now let me see what the deal on this spike thrower is.
because there's a distance thing in there as well, right?
Yeah.
The distance is 20 meters.
The question is, if it's a shotgun, are you going to kill everyone else in the room?
There's no rules about shotgun-like shots.
Spike throwers are the shotgun equivalents of these weapons. Okay, spike thrower has a range of 20 short. So yeah, you're shooting exactly where you're going to. So yeah, I mean, you catch like 2 or 3 other people with these shots. You don't kill any of them, but they're all pretty wounded. And you know, it's all people who are standing by the door, so people who are running to get out and then saw this guy with the sniper rifle hanging around the corner. So they're all like, ah! But yeah, there was one big flechette chunk that came out and just went straight towards this guy and caught him in the throat. He's instantly dead.
Mm.
Ow.
Okay. Well.
Now everybody's screaming. People are shooting pistols in every direction. Like, we get one of those Mass Effect type cutscenes where, like, there's bullets all around you guys. People have pulled out pistols and are just shooting at your table because you just, like, shot 3 people.
Can I make a leadership roll real quick to see if I can calm down people?
Yeah.
All right. Because these are all just like generic people, right? They're not like military or they're
Well,
not like.
currently it's just civilians, yeah.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna make a leadership role because that's basically used for controlling NPCs and stuff. So
Stop shooting, people.
no,
Okay, yeah, I mean, you calm some of the people near you down, those that can hear you.
mm.
But still, most of the room's looking kind of confused. Everyone is shooting in random directions. The bullets are ricocheting off of the sphere. And so, like, since there's this zero gravity area in the exact center of the restaurant, so you can, like, jump and fly across the other side of the restaurant, it's just starting to get filled with bullets moving slower and slower. Just, and, like, there's random piles of metal everywhere.
Shafat, I assume we should just leave. Maybe check that corpse on the way out and see if we can find any information about this Blasco character.
Yeah, let's run.
All right.
Okay. So you spend your turns, you float over to Blasco.
Mm-hmm.
And I check him. Like,
Okay.
what he says.
Let's see here. You have tech medical?
No. No, I didn't want to check like his body. I just wanted to check what's on him.
Okay,
Yeah.
he's got that sniper rifle. But there's a very important reason why I'm asking if you have tech medical, and I'm trying to figure out if there's another skill you could substitute in here.
Maybe like a culture skill or something. I don't know.
Nope. No. All right.
Maybe even a military culture. I don't know.
You really want to do that military culture thing, huh?
Yeah, I
There
think
is
it
no
makes
culture
sense.
military.
Yeah.
All right. I don't think there's anything else you can substitute in here. So when you get
We can
close,
still
you're
make the
looking him
roll.
over, right? And then you start hearing this beeping noise coming from his stomach, and it's starting to get faster. It's like beep, 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 beep.
Is there a way that I can?
Move.
Yeah, all right.
So what are you doing?
Well,
Getting
I
as
mean,
far
like
away as
we can
possible.
make the medical check without it actually having a skill. So
Sure.
Yeah, I'm going to telekinesis his body and move it as far away from us as possible, and
Okay.
far away from, and try to make sure it's not close to people.
All right. So you're just like shooting him out of the restaurant into like the open air someplace.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
try grab one of his patches before you do that.
He's about to explode.
Yeah. So
But
so
yeah,
you just like start psychicking him away. What does it look like when you start pushing him with your mind?
it probably just looks like he's being carried like by one hand up into the air.
No, but
Which
what does
is
it look like from your end? Like how do you have to use your hand to guide your powers? Is it like Avatar, or do you just like stand there and you're like, yes?
Probably more so. I just jump behind a door at the same time and just look at him.
Okay, so it just involves looking at him. All right. So he floats, like 40 meters up into. That's how far you can push him, right?
Yep, per round.
Okay. Yep. So he floats in that 10% gravity that's around most of the station, and into a giant open space, and then he explodes as one of his kidneys that's been replaced by a bomb detects that his vital signatures have dropped to zero. And yeah, you have his sniper rifle, but nothing else.
Does the sniper rifle have any insignia on it?
It does not, and the serial number has been scratched off.
Well, shit. What about the comm? Did I get any information about him, like IP address, something like that?
Um,
Because we were tracked when I had a conversation with these other people, so I assume that we can do the same thing here.
yeah, I mean, you just kind of automatically connected with him, but if you wanted to go back over that data, that's fine. The real issue is that, of course, the shooting's still happening back inside the restaurant, and it sounds like the military is starting to lock down the districts. You hear the sound of, like, airlocks preparing to cycle. It sounds like they're going to, like, lock shut in 30 seconds, and then the military is going to show up and start asking questions.
Well, interesting. Zap, Do you want to go and hide this package somewhere?
Eh,
And we're not going to get
let's-
out of we're not going to get out of this district. The military's here unless we could potentially talk to them and tell them our
let's just
story.
talk to them because we do have connections in the military now.
Well,
Kind of.
you gotta make sure this package doesn't get found. That's the problem here.
That's actually probably our best idea to give it to them.
Yeah, actually, that's not a bad idea.
So is that your decision?
Yeah.
All right. So I mean, the 30 seconds counts down. The airlocks all cycle, locking everybody in place, and then like, um, just the space version of stormtroopers go up. And I'm not talking stormtroopers like white guys, like I'm talking about like stormtroopers like people who dynamically kick their way through windows and then rush the room like SWAT troopers. Like they're flash banging their way down the street. They've got like a grenade launcher dude and a dude with like a heavy las rifle. And then there's like four more that are just running. They're like, everybody down! Everybody hit the deck! Put your weapons down!
I
You
do
guys
what he says.
Is there a way that I can look like I'm in control of the situation before people come in?
I'm sure there is. Let's look over skills and see if there's something relevant.
I put my gun on the ground, but I do nothing else. I continue to just stand and perhaps even smoke a cigarette.
There's my fucking Broncos.
Man, where's the skill section on yeah.
So there's tactics and there's leadership, which
Oh,
could potentially.
leadership almost certainly.
All right then,
I
I'll do
keep
another
going
list.
past equipment into character creation, but I can't find the place that lists all the skills.
Nope,
There
worst
it
roll
is.
ever.
Yeah, I mean, you try to appear like you're in charge of the situation, and like Zaphod puts his gun down, and like two guys put their rifles in your face and are like, "Hit the ground now, sir."
Okay, okay.
Zaphod, you still smoking your cigarette?
Yes.
Are you gonna hit the ground?
I'm going to sit. I'm just going to sit down.
All right. So when you're like getting ready to sit, they like take your head and force you to hit the ground. You gonna do anything about that?
Seriously, dude.
By the time you've asked that, they've already moved on. All these people are still shooting inside the restaurant, and these guys are just like sniping every single person with a weapon.
Kind of glad I put my gun down.
All right. After, a few minutes of craziness with you guys having your cheek pressed down onto the deck, and, occasionally someone will walk over and kick you and just make sure that you're both alive and obeying orders. Zaphod, you don't really recognize the insignia, but Mako, instantly, this guy's military police. He shows
Okay.
up. He's got, like, the row symbol, like the Greek row, and that's, like, military police. And he's like, "Excuse me, gentlemen. Could you come with me, please? I have a few questions I need to ask."
Absolutely.
Certainly, officer.
So he's like, "Please gather up your weapons, but I suggest you keep your fingers away from the triggers. The gentleman with me may not be understanding." And he like points to these two huge dudes carrying mag pistols, and they've got like a dozen knives strapped over them and a couple grenades, and they just look at you and they're like, "Come with us, sir."
I say, nice weapon. I have one of those myself. What issue is that?
Sir.
I'm coming with them. I'm just.
We're
making that
coming.
But
known.
We're coming.
he's like, "Sir, we can't speak with you right now. Please remain silent." And then they start listing off your like legal rights on this planet.
All right.
So they lead you to the airlocks. They cycle you through the airlocks, and then they stick you in the back of. It's like an enormous van. It's basically like a moving truck. But instead of it being empty inside, it's like a mobile command post. with an interrogation room, a very small interrogation room. And the military police guy sits you down and like pulls off his cap. He's got like wavy brown hair and like very piercing green eyes. And he's like, "You can call me, well, it doesn't matter what you call me." And then he puts a phone down on the table and says, "Perhaps you gentlemen would like to contact your lawyer before this begins, but I warn you, if you do, it could be negative consequences."
I'm perfectly fine to
Sure,
speak
that's
for
illegal.
myself.
Are you saying that's illegal? He's like, uh, for an off-worlder telling me what is and is not legal. He pulls out like his cross with the circle around it on the outside, and he's like, "I am an ordained minister of the Church of the New Roman Catholic Saints. Tell me what you know of the law."
We are simply people that work with it, not
Would
against
you like to
it.
make a bureaucracy check, Zaphod, to see, how this situation should be going down?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, you're like, "Oh, that's illegal. We can get a lawyer immediately." And he's just like, "Ha ha ha ha. A lawyer cannot help you in this situation, Mr. Zaphod."
Are you familiar with the customs officer Leo by chance?
Like, Customs Officer Leo.
Hmm.
I do not know anyone by that name.
Interesting. What is it that you detained us for? I'm
He's
curious.
like, "Well, you appear to be in possession of the rifle that was used to kill a young man that started a riot.
Yes.
Wish to know more."
Well, let me just give you the short version here. I come from. Can you mute yourself, please? Kai, it's really annoying.
Yeah, it's
I come from Tandarus. I was NPC over there. Basically, myself and Zaphod here, we were having a quiet little brunch. That place is great, by the way. You should definitely check it out when it's
he
finished its
slaps the
renovations.
table and is like, "Cut this shit. Get to
Yes,
what I
yes,
need
yes.
to know."
Very well. So we were enjoying our brunch, and basically a courier dropped off a package, and I sort of, if we have it with us, I sort of motioned towards it, and it's like, it was addressed to a man called Blasco. Basically, what happened was, obviously, it was addressed to the wrong group. I sort of point to my Archon group patch. It's like, we're part of a NPC. That is dealing mostly in bounties, and our Archon Group logo is very similar to the man who was using the sniper rifle to, well, I guess, exact petty revenge on us for the fact that the package was delivered to the wrong person.
So he's like, "So you claim that you had nothing to do with the shooting?"
Oh no, we shot the man, and he had a stomach explosive, which our good friend Zaphod here managed to remove him from public space and have him detonate safely outside of what do they call it? The civilian view.
Okay.
We
So
were simply looking over the rifle for clues as to his identity. All we know is that he's a man called Blasco, and his identification for whatever group he's a part of is very similar to the Archon group.
So while you're talking, he kind of turns halfway away from you and starts doing the Solid Snake Codex sub vocalization. So his mouth is moving, but it doesn't look like he's saying anything.
Mhm.
And he turns back towards you and like looks towards what do they call it? Like the one-way mirror.
Mhm.
And he like nods and does something with the comm pad. And there's a picture of you and a picture of the sniper that you killed.
Mhm.
And both of you, it's not that you look the same, but you have the same general description. He has the same build as you. He has the same hair and eye color with the same haircut.
Yep.
Yeah, observation window. Yeah. So, and then he brings up your logo patches for the Archon's grip and the Archon group. and they do look pretty similar. The Archon's grip is like, so the Archon group patch, just in case anyone hasn't checked the fan art, is like a U shape with a circle in the center of it,
Mm-hmm.
and the Archon's grip is like a fist gripping like this in a U shape, and there's like a world in the center of it. And he's like, it would seem that your story checks out. And then he's like looking, you said you were handing him the package, right?
Yeah, it's just on the desk there. I assume it came with us when we were detained.
He starts like briefly flipping through it, and he's like, "You know what this is?"
No,
Absolutely
we
not.
don't even know who this person was. He said
He
there's
goes-
been a mistake in delivering it to us.
Yeah, he goes pretty pale, and he's like, "Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. I'm afraid we're going to need to take this package as evidence."
You take all the evidence you want. Take that sniper rifle. We have no need for it.
We don't need anything here.
Like, okay, well then, I wish you the very best of days. Would you like a police presence?
I'm sorry, what?
We're usually able to take care of ourselves.
He looks at the book again, and then looks at you guys, and then looks at the book, and not looking at you, he says, "Are you sure you don't want a police escort?"
Well, you know
Well,
what?
we'd like-
I wouldn't mind learning more about the military presence on this planet, so why not? As long as you put us in touch with as long as you give us officers who can actually talk. I sort of chuckled to myself.
All right. So, he gets back on the compad and speaks briefly with someone in Spanish. And he's like, "Have a good life, gentlemen." And then as you exit the room, he continues in Spanish. He's like, "For as long as it lasts."
Okay. I guess now that I know about that it's Archon Grip and I know like the identity of this man, my first intention is to find out information about him because clearly it's not going to end well for us unless we have information on him.
Okay. All right. So you're joined by 2 police officers, not military personnel, but civilian police.
Mm-hmm.
One introduces himself as Officer Burns, and the other introduces himself as Officer Adin.
Okay. What are they wearing?
They're wearing like just civilian police uniforms, no armor to speak of, and they
Mhm.
have just regular revolvers.
Fair enough. Where are you escorting us to, gentlemen?
So Adams looks to Burns and is like, "Wherever you'd like to go to, sir. We're going to remain assigned to you for as long as you need." And he kind of gives you that cop smile, like, yeah.
Okay. It's like, oh, well, we will be attempting to find more evidence on the man that was shooting at us.
All right. As soon as you say that, Adam speaks up and is like, "Sir, you don't need to interrupt in our investigations. I'm sure you can just let the military police handle it."
Question: do you even know where this package was supposed to be delivered?
Who are you asking?
The cops.
Any of the police officers?
Okay, you ask the cops. They're like, "Sir, I don't even know what package you're talking about, but you better leave the investigations to the professionals." And Burns is like, "Yeah, that's right. You don't have anything to worry about anymore, civilians. Don't worry, we've got your back."
That's fine and all, but I'm just wondering if they could actually use the information we were given.
Well, now, calm down. Everything for a price.
So Adams is like, "I'm sorry, did I just hear you withholding evidence?"
No,
Absolutely not.
They simply never asked for it. We. That's why I'm telling you that we have information about this.
So he seems pretty excited, and he looks toward Burns. He's like, "Yeah, we could get a bonus out of this." And Burns is like, shut up, shut the fuck up." Like his voice is completely different. He's like, "Shut the fuck up." He's like, Yeah, civilians, if you have more evidence to turn in, I'd be happy to hear about it. Why don't you tell me more?
How about we do this instead,
Well, shouldn't we leave the
officers?
investigation to the investigators?
No, no, I was thinking more like along the lines of you guys were. God damn it! It's so hard to talk when I hear myself. It really is. If you got headphones, man, I'd ask you put them on or something.
I've been muted.
Well, that's weird. I could have heard myself through it. Anyway, um, so I turned to the officers and I'm like, what about you guys are looking for a promotion, right? I mean, it was obvious that if we were to work together, we could potentially get a lot more evidence for your case, and you could come to your higher ups with the actual information and everything all nicely wrapped up. That
So
promotion
why
would
don't
be a
you
big
make a
fat easy
persuasion
thing.
check? But I mean, you're
Yeah.
asking them to work with or for you. So it's going to be a 7.
Well, there's no way I can make. Maybe. I mean, that means I'd have to get 2 6s and then with a -1. Yeah. I mean, it's happened
Well, what you're
before.
asking is pretty difficult. You're basically asking 2 police officers to be like, let's go on an adventure together with us.
Yeah.
Well, make the roll. Was that the 5? Is that your...
Yeah, that's the role there. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, they just like shake their heads and they're like, "Sir, perhaps you'd be better off staying at the station where you're nice and safe. Just give the information to us, and we'll make sure the right people get the investigation done."
Um. It's like, well, you're assigned to us, so why don't you just follow us around instead? And basically, come on, Zafar, let's go shopping.
Were you having a shopping montage?
Basically, I'm gonna do
Yes.
stuff to make their lives like hell. Basically, if they don't want to work with us, we're not going to work with them, sort of thing.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, well, I mean, they follow you everywhere. You have like the you guys like go to a gym and like you're like, "Oh, I want to get these barbells," and you like try to hand it to the police officers to carry for you.
yeah,
You know, kind of like the shopping montage where the woman gets the dresses and the guys carry it all, but this time you're just finding heavy stuff for cops to carry.
pretty much. Yeah, you're onto
Okay.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, they just continually are like, "We can't take that," and keep pushing it towards Zaphod.
Oh, come on, just carry it for us.
yeah. Don't be a wet blanket.
Even the police officer who's been like smiling and nice to you is like, "I'm sorry, sir, we can't do this ever."
All right, then. I'm gonna take the chat suggestion and we'll like go clothes shopping, and I'll like put the clothes up against them. It's like, oh, this would look really good on you, stuff like that.
"Sir, we're police escorts. You need to take our job more seriously." And Aden is in the back, and
We don't take anything seriously.
he's like, "Burns, I think it might be time to just go get some coffee and donuts."
All right, we don't really need you anymore, I think.
So when you say that, Burns immediately perks up and is like, "Oh, do you not need a police escort anymore, then, sir?"
I guess not.
Yeah,
Right.
sure we are.
So he's like, "Man, that was the worst 3 hours of shopping of my life." I just want to let you know, civilians, I really hate you.
The
Everyone
feeling is
does.
mutual, and I give them like a really weak salute. I'm just like, ugh.
All right, the two of them just leave. And as you do, you notice that whatever shop you're currently in, what shop are you currently in?
I don't know, like space clothes are us.
Space Clothes Are Us. So you're like in Space Abercrombie. Yeah.
Abercrombie in space.
When they leave, you notice that like everyone has cleared out of the area. Like there's no sales associates here. There's no people shopping in this particular store. It's completely like empty.
Can I make a
That's all.
tactics roll to see if we've walked into an ambush?
Sure, you can make a tactics roll.
Cool. I've always wanted to do that.
You're like, I've waited my whole life. Use
There we
the
go.
skill. Okay, yeah, you haven't walked into an ambush. It's just like when you came in with the cops, everybody kind of moved out,
Mm.
and now that the cops are gone, you're now like suspiciously
Collect-
alone.
Galactic gap.
Galactic Gap. I like that one.
That's not bad.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Okay. I was like, well, we've got a drop off point. We've got a basic idea of what the package was. How